the continent.
John, with the limited amount of time that you have left in office at this point, can you give an assessment of the likelihood of a ceasefire deal in Gaza and Israel?
We're working on it every single day, and I wish I could give you odds. I can't do that, but I can tell you, without doubt, 100% of our energy and effort is being put to try to get in this. And it's really the main stumbling block continues to be Hamas. We believe that as they look at the world right now, they ought to see just how isolated and weakened they are. Iran's no longer there for them. Hezbollah is no longer there for them. The Houthis aren't doing anything materially to support what they're trying to do. They've lost their leader, Mr. Sinwar. It's time for Hamas to come to the table, and we're going to keep doing that. We're working with Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, even as we speak. There are active conversations that our team's having with them to see if we can get this on the table. There's no reason why we can't do it. We just have to bring it home.
John, on Lebanon, is it concerning to you that Israel has continued to strike Lebanon even after the ceasefire deal was agreed to? Does that raise any concerns about the deal coming to fruition?
Yeah, so we are seeing some sporadic strikes in the last few days. This was expected. This is why. I mean, you're talking about a war that's been raging now for actually many years, if you think about it, certainly since October 7th. We went from hundreds of rocket attacks to basically zero by Hezbollah and dozens of airstrikes by Israel to one or two per day. So there's been a dramatic reduction in the violence. We did put in place a mechanism to actually work out and deconflict and to try to stop these attacks. That mechanism is in full force and is working. There's a U.S. Army general who is basing himself out of the embassy in Beirut as part of this mechanism process, as we announced that we would do, and that's ongoing.
What is that mechanism? Can you expand on what that is?
In Amos, we have a civilian, and in the military, we have a one-star general who are sort of operating as our connective tissue to the parties to try to monitor and keep the ceasefire implemented. And that deconfliction process, that system is in place. So again, largely speaking, though, the ceasefire is holding.
I'll continue on Lebanon. So as far other than the fact that Hezbollah is severely weakened, now what makes this ceasefire different in terms of the chances of succeeding compared to all the other previous Lebanon ceasefires?
Well, again, we believe we have a mechanism in place, a system in place to monitor it and to implement that. And again, so far, it largely is doing that. There have been sporadic strikes, no question about it. As the president said when he announced it, Israel has the inherent right of self-defense. So I'll let them speak to what they're targeting. But we've gone from, dozens of strikes, down to one a day, maybe two a day. That's a tremendous reduction, and we're going to keep trying to see what we can do to get it down to zero, so that both sides are fully implementing it. But it's only a week or so old, so there's a lot more work to do.
Is that due to the mechanism working, as in is the U.S. through this mechanism restraining Israel?
I think it's the part and parcel of the mechanism working, but also the leaders on both sides are committed to this. They are both sides in a different place after months and months of going after one another, and we think they both are, still committed to this.
Can I ask one about libido?